When human justice fails and a community faces the threat of violent erasure, desperate people often look to the skies. But for one culture, salvation didn't come from above. It rose from the depths of the river. Every year during the festival of Cheti Chand, millions of Sindhis across the globe gather in joyous celebration. You see crowds adorned in the deep reds and geometric patterns of traditional ajrak cloth, wearing the iconic mirrored Sindhi caps. The center of this intense devotion is a white bearded figure known as Jhulelal Sai. He is revered as the physical incarnation of the water deity, Varun Dev. Yet his story is rooted in a very real historical crisis. To understand this reverence, we have to look at how an ancient narrative of severe religious persecution evolved into a modern diaspora's strongest symbol of unity and survival. Centuries ago, ancient Sindh was a thriving center of agriculture and trade, built around the fertile banks of the Sindhu or Indus River. The daily rhythm of life, the success of the harvests, and the local economy were bound to the water. The river provided everything. That stability vanished when an authoritarian ruler named Mir Shah took power. He issued a brutal mandate across the region. All Hindus under his rule had to abandon their faith and convert to Islam. The edict sent a wave of terror through Sindh. Families faced the immediate threat of state violence, forced separation, and the loss of ancestral traditions. Cornered and stripped of political power, the Hindu community retreated to the one force that had always sustained them, the river. They gathered on the banks of the Sindhu and began a grueling 40-day fast, singing hymns and praying continuously. When the courts of human rulers offer nothing but oppression, the oppressed turn to the unyielding laws of nature. On the 40th day, the silence broke. Water deity Varun Dev manifested before the exhausted crowd, promising to take human form to protect them from Mir Shah's forces. Soon after, in the village of Nasarpur, a boy named Untold was born. According to the texts, his arrival was marked by blinding light filling the home and a sweet fragrance in the air. Even as an infant, he exhibited strange abilities. His cradle would rock on its own, earning him the name Jhulelal, meaning the swinging child. Fish would gather in masses whenever he was near the water. As he grew, villagers reported seeing him walk across the surface of the river. He possessed the same physical properties as the water he came from. These early signs showed Untold moved with the strength of the river itself, an adaptable, patient force that could not be contained. Jhulelal reached adulthood and decided it was time to end the persecution. He walked directly into the hostile epicenter of Mir Shah's royal court. Standing before the ruler, Jhulelal stated that God is a singular force, and weaponizing religion to oppress others is a violation of divine law. Mir Shah scoffed at the philosophy, demanding physical proof of this divine authority. Jhulelal gave him exactly what he asked for. The young man transformed before the entire court, and the raw elements of nature were suddenly unleashed inside the throne room. Mir Shah watched in panic as his heavy stone palace simultaneously erupted into roaring flames and rapidly filled with rising floodwaters. The ruler's immense political and military power meant nothing when faced with the unified, overwhelming forces of the natural world. Mir Shah's imagines collapsed. Terrified, he threw himself at Jhulelal's feet, begging for the destruction to stop and promising to end his campaign of terror. The floods receded and the fires died down. Jhulelal immediately forgave the tyrant. He left Mir Shah with a final directive. True faith requires the absolute equal respect of all religions. With his purpose fulfilled, Jhulelal returned to the banks of the Sindhu. He walked directly into the current, slowly dissolving back into the water, leaving a lasting peace across the region. That peace held for centuries. But the story of the water savior took on a vital importance during the 20th century. During periods of historical displacement and forced migration, the Sindhi people had to leave their ancestral river behind. Today, the vibrant Cheti Chand festival is the heartbeat of a culture that refused to be erased. It is a celebration of an identity that remained anchored despite centuries of displacement. Tyranny relies on fear and division to maintain control, but a community anchored by truth and unity possesses a resilience as deep and unstoppable as the river itself. If this story of survival resonated with you, type Jhulelal Sai in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to the channel as we continue to explore the deeper meanings behind history's greatest legends.